Zara stood at the edge of the broken ship and looked at the stars that seemed so far away now, and her blue skin felt cold in the darkness of space because the heating system had failed 3 days ago. And she knew that time was running out fast. She was from a planet called Valandra, where her people lived in harmony with nature and technology. But now she floated in this metal coffin, waiting for death to come and take her. Away from this lonely void, the humans had found her ship 2 weeks after. It crashed on their moon, and they sent a rescue team led by a woman named Katie, who had kind eyes and a gentle voice that reminded Zara of her own sister. Back home, Katie and her crew worked day and night to fix the communication system, so Zara could talk to them and tell them what happened and why she was so far from her home world. Zara explained that she was a scientist studying ancient civilizations across the galaxy, and her ship was attacked by pirates who wanted to steal her research data about a powerful energy source that could change the balance of power in their region of space. Pirates damaged her engines and left her to die in the cold vacuum between stars, but somehow her ship drifted into human territory and crashed. On their moon, where Katie found her barely alive, Katie brought food and water and medical supplies, and she sat with Zara for hours listening to stories about Valandra and its purple skies and silver oceans, and Zara felt grateful for this human, the woman who showed her such kindness. But the real problem was not the damaged ship or the lack of supplies, but the fact that the pirates had planted a tracking device on her vessel, and they were coming back to finish what they started. Katie discovered the tracking device during a routine scan, and she immediately contacted her commander, named Lisa, who ordered an emergency evacuation of the moonbase because the pirates were only hours away. Zara felt terrible guilt knowing that her presence had put these humans in danger, and she told Katie to leave her behind and save themselves, but Katie refused and said that no one gets left behind on her watch. Lisa arrived with a full military escort, and she was a tough woman with scars on her face and a reputation for never backing down from a fight, and she looked at Zara with respect rather than fear. The plan was simple and dangerous and required perfect timing because they had to move Zara to a secure location while setting up a trap. For the pirates who thought they were attacking a defenseless moon, Baskety stayed with Zara while Lisa and her soldiers prepared the defenses, and Zara watched in amazement as these humans worked together with such efficiency and courage. Even though they had only known her for a short time, the pirates arrived exactly when Lisa predicted, and their ships were massive and covered in weapons, and they sent a message demanding that Zara be handed over immediately or they would destroy the entire base. Lisa responded by firing the first shot, and the battle began with explosions lighting up the dark side of the moon, and Zara could hear the sounds of combat even from inside the reinforced bunker where Katie had hidden her. The human weapons were less advanced than the pirate technology, but Lisa had something the pirates did not expect, which was strategy and determination, and the willingness to sacrifice everything to protect someone in need. One by one, the pirate ships fell. As Lisa outmaneuvered them using the terrain of the moon and the element of surprise, and Zara realized that these humans were not weak or primitive, but fierce warriors who fought with honor. But then disaster struck when a pirate ship broke through the defensive line and headed straight for the bunker where Zara and Katie were hiding, and they had only minutes before impact. Katie grabbed Zara and pulled her through a secret tunnel that led deep underground, and they ran as fast as they could. While the explosions got closer and louder behind them, Zara had never felt so helpless because on her world, she was strong and capable, but here she needed Katie to save her, and she wondered if she would ever get the chance to repay this debt. Emerged from the tunnel just as the bunker exploded, and Katie shielded Zara with her own body, taking the impact of falling debris, and when the dust settled, Katie was bleeding from a wound on her shoulders. Zara used her knowledge of medicine to stop the bleeding, and she held Katie close and whispered words of gratitude in her native language, and Katie smiled despite the pain and said they were not done yet. Lisa found them an hour later after the last pirate ship retreated, and she helped Katie to her feet and looked at Zara with a nod of approval and said that anyone who could inspire such loyalty deserved to be saved. Days that followed were filled with recovery and planning because Zara could not go home until her ship was repaired and the pirates were dealt with permanently, and Lisa had a plan for that, Tushy contacted a woman named Beth, who was an admiral in the human space fleet, and Beth agreed to provide military escort for Zara all the way back to Valandra. And to help negotiate a peace treaty with the pirate, Zara met Beth on the flagship, and she was impressed by how this human woman, respect from hundreds of soldiers and officers, and yet still took the time to speak with Zara personally. About her journey, Beth explained that humanity had suffered many attacks from alien pirates and slavers over the years, and they had learned the hard way that the only response to aggression was strength combined with compassion. The journey to Valandra took 3 months, and during that time Zara became close friends with Katie, who had recovered from her injuries and insisted on coming along to see Zara safely home. They spent hours talking about their different worlds and cultures, and Zara taught Katie some of her language, while Katie taught Zara about human history and literature and musics. Zara learned that humans had overcome incredible obstacles throughout their history, including wars and diseases and environmental disasters, and yet they never gave up hope or stopped reaching for the stars. She also learned that humans had a concept called friendship that was deeper than mere alliance or cooperation, and it meant standing by someone even when it was dangerous or inconvenient. And Katie embodied this concept perfectly. When they finally arrived at Valandra, the entire planet celebrated because they thought Zara had been lost forever, and her family welcomed Katie and Beth and the other humans as heroes who had saved their daughter and sister. Zara stood before the planetary council and told them everything that had happened, and she proposed an alliance between Valandra and humanity based on mutual respect and cooperation, and the council agreed unanimously. But the story did not end there, because the pirates were still a threat, and they had to be stopped before they could hurt anyone else. And Zara volunteered to lead a joint mission with the humans to track them down. Beth appointed Katie as second in command of the mission because she knew Katie would never let Zara face danger alone, and together they assembled a team of the best warriors from both species. Hunt for the pirates took them to the edge of known space, where they discovered that the pirates had built a massive fortress on a rogue planet, and they were planning an attack on multiple worlds at once. The fortress was heavily defended and seemed impossible to breach, but Zara had studied ancient warfare tactics from dozens of civilizations, and she came up with a plan that combined human cunning with Valandran technology. They launched the attack at dawn when the fortress shields were at their weakest, and the battle was fierce and brutal, but the combined human and Valandran forces fought as one unit with perfect coordinations. Ara and Katie led the ground assault personally, and they fought side by side against pirates who were bigger and stronger, but not smarter or braver, and slowly they pushed forward toward the fortress. Kortha, pirate leader, was a massive creature named Crocs, who had terrorized this region of space for decades, and he challenged Zara to single combat, believing that he could crush her easily. But Zara was not alone, because Katie stood beside her, and together they faced Crocs with weapons drawn, and when he attacked, they moved as one, deflecting his strikes and countering with precision. The battle lasted only minutes, but it felt like hours, and in the end, Crocs fell defeated by the combined strength of human determination and Valandran skill, and the remaining pirates surrendered immediately. The fortress was destroyed, and the pirates were taken into custody, and peace was restored to that region of space, and Zara and Katie returned home as heroes, celebrated by both their peoples. Years later, Zara would look back on those events and realize that she had learned something profound about humanity and about herself, because she had been saved not by superior technology or military might, but by simple kindness and courage. Katie became the human ambassador to Valandra, and she and Zara remained best friends for the rest of their lives, and they worked together to build bridges between their civilizations. The alliance between humanity and Valandra grew stronger with each passing year, and other alien species began to take notice and seek similar partnerships because they saw the power of cooperation and mutual respects. Ara continued her scientific research, but now she focused on finding ways to help other species avoid the conflicts and misunderstandings that had nearly cost her life, and she became known across the galaxy as a peacemaker. And whenever young Valandrans asked her about her adventures, she would always tell them the same thing, which was that she had been lost and alone in the void. But humanity found her and showed her that no one has to face the D